Let's talk about diabetes. Hey guys, it's Shi'nae here, and we finally got the mic. Woo, I didn't forget, but then again, I am recording at home, so that would be crazy if I did forget. Um, Welcome back to another episode. Today, I'm like stumbling over my words. I don't know what's going on, but I want to talk about diabetes. Um, oh my god, I have so much to say that it's just all coming out like my head and it's trying to come out my mouth, but there's too many. I'm going through it, okay? I'm going through it. But yeah, let's talk about diabetes. I first want to start with my story. Of course, got to add a little bit of me in there before I start rambling about a lot of other stuff. But I became a diabetic at 2 years old. As I can vaguely remember the story, apparently we were supposed to go to Disney World in Florida. Mm. Um, and by we, my grandpa, my grandma, my two aunts, and my mom and I. But apparently, I was I would urinate on myself a lot. And my mom found it weird because I was potty trained, so there shouldn't be any reason I was having these accidents if I knew how to use the bathroom and stuff. So apparently I think she took me to the doctor and my sugar was like sky high. I don't know the number exactly, but all I know is that it was sky high. And I think they had to like stick a needle in my bone through my foot or something like that. Or I don't know. If I'm thinking of this wrong, then where did I get that from? But yeah, they tested my blood sugar and it was sky high, and that's when they found out I had diabetes, type 1 diabetes at 2 years old. And I know you're probably thinking, "Oh, that sucks." You don't have to feel sorry for me. It's been something that I've been living with for 18 years now, and something I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. So, I don't want people to be sorry for me for the rest of my life. I'm good. I'm here. I'm alive. And I'm as healthy as I can be. But we'll get into that. Um, so, growing up with diabetes, it was kind of hard because, the norm was that people just didn't have diabetes around me, kids my age and stuff like that. I had never met um, a diabetic who's my age until I went into high school, which is insane. Most diabetics that I knew of were older. I guess let's get into my family history a little bit so you can see where this diabetes is coming from, right? So, my great grandma has diabetes, and that's on my mom's side. So my grandma's mother, she's still alive, by the way. Um, I don't ask me how old she is. I think she's 82, could be 83, one of those. And then my grandfather, my father's dad, um, had diabetes too. Um, Unfortunately, what I'm thinking here, right, by doing the math and calculating, right, if anything, if it was going to skip a generation on my mom's side, my mom would have gotten it. But no, because it was in my mom's family, a little distant because great grandma, but right there with my dad's, I'm thinking it's my dad's fault that I got diabetes because it definitely skipped him and went straight to me at the age of 2 years old. It's not a thing I don't regret, getting diabetes at such a young age, but I do hate that I missed out on a lot. I do think that a lot of things would have been different if, I was different. But I know there's a reason why, I got it, or, like only strong people get the hardest experiences, right? So I'm just gonna keep faith in that, right? But yeah, so going through elementary school and middle school, it was just always so awkward for me to like get medicine and have to leave the classroom while they're eating or like having a pizza party just to go downstairs to get medicine. And I think some of the people around me found it a little cool because the nurse's office was always like the coolest place to be at. My favorite nurse was the one that I had in elementary school. She's the reason why I want to become a nurse. I told her that I want to be just like her, but I want to work in a hospital so I can help more people. I'm pretty sure I said that at 7. 7 is what I tell everybody, and I'm pretty sure that was it. And what, 13 years later? Almost 14 years later, I still stuck to it. I stick to a lot of things in my life that I've said previously when I was younger. But yeah, I told her that because there was so much care. She was like my best friend at school. I love to be around her. I would rather be in her office with her than outside playing. But yeah, I would have escorts to the nurse, of course. When you're in elementary school, another person, you take a pass, another person brings you down there, and, blah, blah, blah. But I think they always found it fun. Because, like I said, the nurse's office was fun. Um, in middle school, I guess it kind of became cooler. Before lunch, I would get excused to go to the nurse's office, and a whole bunch of my friends, like one person would walk me down, but then like the other two or three would like sneak out of class and then just meet us downstairs, and it was all fun, just roaming around and having fun. Um, but yeah, middle school wasn't as bad. But during middle school, I had a good 2 years, maybe, like most of my middle school, where I was in the hospital because of my diabetes. It would just get so high that I just had to go to the hospital. 2 years in a row, around the same time, around the second market period, always around November, December. I don't know why. Maybe that's a thing, I mean, I'm guessing so. I'm pretty sure any diabetic's blood sugar is lower during like the spring, summer times because it's warmer and you're sweating and stuff like that than the fall, winter times when, even if you eat a lot of sugar, you're not really gonna like go sweat that off or like go like do something. Whatever. You get the gist. I hope you do. But yeah. Um and that happened. That got so bad for me that it carried on into high school because I think it happened 3 years in a row or something like that. And when high school, when that last time in high school it happened, I didn't eat for like a good 2 weeks. Like my mom would like try to force me to eat, and I'm like, nope. She would give me food, and I would act like I would eat it, but then secretly just put it back in the fridge and just not eat and go to school. Don't know how I was surviving and thriving, but I did end up losing like 20 pounds. I went down like 3 pants sizes in, I don't even know, like 3 months or something like that. It was really bad. Um, which is not healthy. I am not trying to persuade anybody to want to lose weight in that way, and I get it. Wanting to lose weight and not feeling satisfied with your body. But stay tuned for an episode coming up about body positivity and just stuff like that to just enlighten the mood and help you feel great about yourself. But back to this. Um yeah, it it was crazy. I thought, ooh, I'm skinny, I'm feeling good and stuff like that. Woohoo. Um it was fine, And then my diabetes wasn't really doing so good. Um there's something called an A1C, and you get that tested as a diabetic, I think every 3 months or something like that, because it's like a composition of all of your blood sugars within 3 months, and it gets scaled. I don't know what the lowest is. I feel like 2.5 is the lowest your A1C could be. I think so. And then it goes all the way up to 12. 12 being the highest, meaning that you just had high blood sugar the whole 3 months, when it gets divided down. And I'm pretty sure my A1C was a good consistent 10 10 11. It's not funny, but um it could be scary, especially having high blood sugar for a long while. And in high school, I just stopped going to the nurse's office in general. And I would take my medicine myself, like just, pop the needle out, put the medicine in the syringe, boop, did it right there under the table. You didn't even see it happen. And I think people just found it so cool. Like no matter what grade I was in or what school I was in, whether they had to escort me or see me do everything in action, I just everybody found it so cool, like with my diabetes and like wanted to help. And I'm happy that I did have that. I don't really know if people bully people for having diabetes or stuff like that. I've never gone through it, so I really wouldn't know. It was just an insecurity within myself that I felt like I was different from other kids, which I was different. But I looking back now and talking about it, I am happy that I did have some type of reassurance that even though I was different, it was cool. It's like my little superpower. And yeah. So I'm really happy about that. And I thank the people who were nice to me during those times and just seeing those things happen with me. Um but yeah, I didn't really have uh what are they called? An endocrinologist. No, I did have an endocrinologist, but then she like had to leave or something, or she retired, so then I had to find another one. It took a few months, and going to this new endocrinologist, which I am currently with now, there was a lot. Um, One thing that my previous endocrinologist had me do was write down my blood sugars, and I will tell you that I did lie just to try to make it seem better. Even though obviously my A1C levels, we're gonna tell them that it's always been high, but I did lie a little bit, just to get my way. Yeah, it didn't hurt me, but that is very dangerous for anybody who's probably doing the same thing as me and who's a diabetic. That's dangerous. Just be truthful. But obviously they're gonna see through your A1C, but still be truthful. That's the best thing you can do. Um yeah, so I was giving myself medicine through needles. When did I learn? I guess in high school is when I started to do it. Because like I said, I got sick and tired of going to the nurse's office when I could literally I'm a big kid. I can do it myself. There's no need for me to come down there to you. I have my own sugar tester. I could just bring my medicine, boop, put it in my book bag, take it. I know how to calculate what I need to do. So, if anybody's wondering how do you calculate to take how much medicine to take, I do it by carb counting. I do not remember anymore what that was like. I'm pretty sure it was like if I had 15 carbs, it was like 1 unit or something. I don't remember because now I have a pump, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Um, but I did carb counting, so a little math. And it was alright. It really did work out. That method of doing it manually did work for me a bit. But at times when I was eating a lot more, and I thought I knew how much carbs I was going to eat, but then I added more food to the table, and not giving myself medicine for the extra food, it didn't really work out as much. In high school, I met this person. His name is Cheyenne. I don't know if he'll ever hear this ever the podcast, but he also has type 1 diabetes. I don't remember what age he got it, but it just felt so great, like having something in common within each other that's not common around us. Like, that's so cool. I've never met anyone with diabetes until him. And I haven't met anyone after. um, I haven't. He's the first and only person I've met that's my age that has diabetes, which is insane to say. There's a lot of people around, but mm, I haven't met them. Um, but it was cool to like bond over that and stuff like that. And he had this strange little device that everybody was like, "Oh, it's just his pager." And he was so cool. He was kind of like the emo kid, so chill. The way he talked, wore all black, and then had this little pager thingy, like connected to, well, like, yeah, like strapped on to his pants belt. And I never knew what that was, but apparently it is called a pump. Um, which I got introduced to after I gave birth to my daughter. Yeah. It's automatic. All you really have to do sometimes is take your blood pressure with the the blood sugar thingy, the blood sugar tester. um and put it into the pump, and it does everything else for you. Obviously you go to the doctors once you get it, and they help you put in like the ratios for like how much medicine you get per carb, and then there's this thing called um basal, and that just gives you pumps medicine into you. Like, I have mine set to 1 unit an hour, just in case, if same situation, if I eat something and I put my bolus in, which that's what it's called, bolus, like how much carbs and stuff you eat, that's your bolus. And I put that in and it gives me medicine, but then I eat something else later, that one extra unit might help out, unless if it's too much. But this allows you to just put that medicine in anywhere all the time. At first when I got it, I put it like on my bra, to just kind of get out the way. It connects to my side, which is where the medicine, it comes out the pump and into my side and gives me medicine. I thought it was weird to just pull it out of my bra, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should put it on my pants, but that was like uncomfortable and just not ideal, especially when using the bathroom. And I'm just like, whatever. But I became confident with just pulling it out, putting my medicine in, and going on with my day. But let's talk about how I got into this pump situation. After giving birth, my sugar dropped. I don't know if it was like 13, 14. It was one of the teens or something like that, or like in the 20s. I don't know why I got an accent, but yeah, it dropped so bad that I had to go to the hospital. There's this thing called glucagon, and it's basically like a water syringe, and then like the sugar, or no, there's a syringe and like a um sugar water thing that you just shoot into the person, as if you're giving them medicine if their sugar is really low. And you know we had one. My mom kind of messed it up by panicking, and they ended up like calling 911, and she put like some sugar in my mouth, which, it probably, I think it did help in the meantime. Yes, you could probably choke, but she's a professional, okay? 18 years, that's older than my cousins. So, you know. But yeah, and I actually had an out of body experience. Just crazy. But we'll talk about that some more in a different pregnancy video. Um well, podcast episode. But yeah. So, dealing with my diabetes now, there has been some ups and downs. I haven't been doing well mentally, and my physical aspect has declined a bit. I haven't been working out as I used to last year, and I'm trying to get back to myself, trying to stay more positive, get healthy, be positive about my body image, of course, because that's a big factor as to why I haven't been working out. And I know that should be a motivation, but that's just not for everybody. Um, but yeah, diabetes is a hard thing to live with every day. It's a struggle, just like mental health. You have, same thing I said with mental health, you have high highs and low lows, literally. Low blood sugar and high blood sugar. Um, and sometimes it can hit you. When I have high blood sugar, I want to eat. I just want to eat. Um, and just eat all the sugary stuff. And I feel like weak, kind of. And like, I don't know how to explain it. But when I'm low, I don't want to eat. I don't want to drink anything. I feel like a zombie. I want to go to sleep. Obviously, don't do that. If your blood sugar's low, you don't want to die, or like, I don't know, maybe have a seizure or something like that. I don't know. I've never done that before. Obviously, I've gotten what I needed when my sugar was low. Um, and as I mentioned before, summertime is like your worst enemy as a diabetic. I'm very active and I'm an outdoorsy person, and I like to go on adventures and do stuff and jump around, do flips, and play with my daughter at the park. I'm that type of person, and that's a lot. Um, for me, and it could drop my sugar in an instant. You never know. It could be quick. Like my blood sugar could be high and it just drops down in an instant. So, especially when taking medicine in the summer and you're going to do those physical activities, it's best to take less medicine, because if you're going to take the right amount of medicine that you need for to account for the food, and then you go and play and do backflips and hurdle off of a plane, you know, it's gonna drop down. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, also take the medicine, but never forget to bring snacks. I was a snack person in middle school, high school. Always pulled out a random bag of chips. Always pull out a random something, right? I was that. I was always eating, always eating. Um, But it always came in handy, especially when my sugar was low, especially when you can't get to where you need to get to. Always have something there. Fruit snacks were my best friend. They were reliable. They can go in your pocket, and easy just to pop one, two, three of them in your mouth, and then your sugar goes back up. That was a main snack, sugary snack that I indulged in when my sugar was low in middle school and high school. Um, Now, although there are downsides about having diabetes, there are upsides too, right? Um, let's start with church. Going to church with my family and eating there was always so fun. Like I said, I always used to eat. Don't come for me, okay? I just eating was fun. Okay, leave me alone. But at church, you know how they say older people and people with diabetes come up. I would be so happy, man. I'd be up there with the old people looking at my cousins and my friends and be like, yeah, I got my food. I got my first plate of food. Yeah, because I got diabetes. I felt like, I don't know, I was on top of the world because, the kids would go last. I'm like, oh, you're going last? Because there'd be a whole bunch of people there, so lines would be so long. You're going last? I'm going up for my second plate. Boom! I don't know. I just felt great. Yeah. And people knowing that I had diabetes, like teachers and stuff like that, they were extremely nice to me. I had this fifth grade teacher named Mr. Badillo. He was the best. He would buy me these like tablets of sugar. Like it was like a round tablet. It was like an orange flavor, and you chew on it, and boom, blood sugar goes right back up. And then when we went on a camping trip, he bought me a whole bag of Butterfingers. I'm like, how did you know? How did you know they were my favorite? And it's funny because they said that people couldn't bring extra snacks because of bears or whatever and bring it in the cabin. But he said, no, I got a diabetic kid here. I'm going to make sure she's okay. And bought me a whole bag. Oh, I love that guy. He goes down and it's like, maybe even he's number one best teacher I've ever had. Besides what he did for me, it's just the care and how he was as a teacher in general. He is definitely number one on my list. I love you, Mr. Badio. um, but yeah, those perks were pretty cool. You know, I liked it. I love it. I love being first. And sometimes I have an ongoing joke, like when we're at functions or events, and like, oh, why didn't they call up old people and people with diabetes first? I would have been up there already. Like, oh, I don't have my plate. But I'm patient. I'm cool. Um, but no, diabetes is only a problem if you let it be a problem. Um, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not putting in the work and doing what's necessary, then it becomes a problem. And that's something I'm trying to learn and get past. I'm trying to be better. and eat better. But it's like, oh my God, the less healthy foods are cheaper than healthy foods. Like, come on, can we bring the food prices down? Like, I don't want to spend $200 and only get like maybe 20 items. Like, please. I'm being dramatic. It's not like that. I know how to budget my money well and get the cheap but also good products. And my daughter only eats organic bananas, not those other ones. I know what I'm doing, but also it's like, my God, it's a lot. It is a lot. But I say all this to say that if you're struggling with any diseases, as I tell people, people are like, oh, diabetes isn't a disease. It's an autoimmune disease. It is. If you're struggling with anything like that, health problems related, it will get better. And I know a lot of people probably tell you this, but it will get better. And sometimes, you have those hurdles to jump over. Make sure you jump and don't like face plant into it. Um, you'll be alright. I know you will. We can get through this together. And it's hard. It's tempting. It's tempting seeing chips and stuff like that because I didn't grow up eating a lot of sweets and snacks. Like my mom didn't let us have juice, and when she would bring orange juice in like for herself, we would drink that or just juice in general. It would be gone in like less than a day. And what would we do? Refill it with water. Yep. I didn't do it. It must have went flat. I didn't do it. And we fully thought she believed us. Maybe she called our bluff and just didn't say anything, but I didn't grow up with sugary snacks and stuff like that. That's why I prefer Rice Krispies, cornflakes, and Cheerios over sugary cereals. And I appreciate that I do because I would be in a worse situation if I didn't have diabetes or if I was just allowed to eat all those things. But, you know, not being allowed and being like strictly not able to do it has also made me want to do it more, you know? Like being in middle school and high school and going to the store by myself just made me indulge and just binge in all of these things that were not good for me. But it happens and we get over it. So I know this is a longer episode, but that's my diabetes right there. And if you know a diabetic, say I appreciate you. You the best, um, cause it's hard. We struggle. We struggle. We can't be as normal as everybody else. But that doesn't mean we should be treated differently. And like I said, it's hard. But all in all, I hope you enjoyed the episode today and stay tuned for next week's episode. Remember that I post an episode every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know why I say it like that. um, look out for the next episode next Friday and have a good day. Make sure you email me at letstalkwithshi'nae@gmail.com. While listening through the episode from last week, I butchered the spelling of it because I was in La La Land, but it is LETSTALKWITHSHINAE @gmail.com. That's LETSTALKWITHSHINAE @gmail.com. Make sure you email me with some questions, thoughts, or any topics that you would like me to talk about within the coming episodes. As always, stay tuned, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.